Love is an industry. Love is a poem. Love is an ocean. Love is
eat a lot of chocolate.
A person can become great provided that they've read the complete works of Oscar Wilde. Then after doing that,
just a good woman, you know, somebody you're going to connect with, somebody you feel that you can create your entire life with.
Prepare for death.
I like to think that God created us because I don't know. I don't know why God created us. I don't know.
Somebody invented football. It's probably like one guy that invented football. Look how great that is. That changed the world.
Whenever I go to the ocean and I see the water and it doesn't end, I realize it makes me feel the whole world is actually connected.
Hell, wow. Not a place I want to be.
Heaven? A nice, hot, beautiful beach.
Enjoyment. We want satisfaction.
I'm afraid of spiders.
Deep, dark waters.
A killer or monster is living underneath my bed.
I'm afraid of being murdered. I'm afraid of being burgled. I'm afraid of being shouted at.
You can't get everything you want. I prayed for children, and thank God I have 2 beautiful little girls.
This life's amazing.
That's such a good question. I like to think that God created us because I don't know. I don't know why God created us. I don't know.
It's a very good question. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know. I really don't know.
God is so good that we can't even start to understand why He created us.
He gave us a world to mess with, and hopefully we do the right thing.
And to grow and change and somehow affect other people's lives.
God created us to give us pleasure.
Wow, that's a deep question. I'm not so sure why. I mean, we're His children. Why have children? Because you want them. That's what you want.
God created us that He shouldn't be alone.
We wanted to be created. We wanted to do things in this world, and you know, maybe all the voidness was a little boring.
A God who created everything from nothing, and what's nothing? It's unimaginable. We can't even imagine nothing because we don't know nothing. So a God who created everything from nothing is in itself saying that creation is a gift, something for nothing, kindness. So our tradition, our religion tells us that there's nothing we can do for God. And every Jewish atheist knows there's nothing you can do for God. If you're an observant Jew, or if you keep any of the mitzvahs, then the atheists make fun of you. They say, what do you think? God cares whether you keep kosher or you keep Shabbos? Only He needs, what difference does it make to Him? Man, grow up, yeah? We say, grow up, man. Who taught you that? It's the Jewish people taught us, that there's nothing you can do for God. Then what's it all about? There's only one thing. We say, our Father in heaven. Did you ever hear the expression? Avinu avarachman, Avinu, Avinu malkeinu, Avinu. Our Father. When you have children, what the heck do you have children for? What are you going to get out of them? You think you're going to make a profit? You know, some people think they have this dream they're going to get breakfast in bed from one of their kids. Well, maybe if you have 10, one will do it. But I'll tell you, you'll get better service, much cheaper, with an English butler. So then what do you have children for? Who needs them? Their pleasure is your pleasure. That's our concept of God. He created this world. It's a beautiful world. He created us for one purpose, and that purpose is to get pleasure.
He put a lot of different people in here, so either to complement each other and to make people, like, to make everyone better people, and to like have this world become a beautiful place.
He wants the best for us. He wants good for us.
God also wants us to have lots of spaghetti when we really need spaghetti, and He wants us to have lots of flowers and barbecues and Grateful Dead t-shirts and all kinds of good things.
God wants us to have a good time.
God created us because He loves us and He wants to see us succeed and reach our full potential.
That's what God wants from us, recognition. He probably doesn't need it, but that's what He wants.
You tell the purpose of something from the design. From the design, what it does. So you know there are 6 billion of these creatures in this world. 6 billion of us. You're one of them. You got up this morning. Why did you get up this morning? I'll tell you why you got up this morning. You figured you had a better chance of getting some pleasure walking around than sleeping in bed. Because if you thought that you had a better chance sleeping in bed, you'd still be hugging your pillow. We are 6 billion pleasure seekers. That's our job. If the Almighty knew what He was making, then that's what He made us for. We are pleasure seekers.
What do I want the most out of life? I want satisfaction. I want gratitude. I want enjoyment.
I just want to be happy and healthy, and my family to be happy and healthy.
I want most out of life is a meaningful experience that I can be proud of.
I want to really feel like I've done something worthwhile, because otherwise then like life would really be meaningless.
Most of all, I want to be relaxed and have fun at every moment of every day.
One thing I want most out of life is to be fairly respected and honoured by people. Not too much honour, but enough.
I want the most out of life to be happy.
The thing I want most out of life is pleasure.
Now you can try seeking pleasure on your own, or you can find out what pleasures are really available. In seeking it on your own, you can experiment and try drugs and try. If you're willing to learn about it, and especially if you come to our tradition, I mean, we've been around 3,500 years, we can tell you children and being good. There's a lot of heavy-duty pleasures, and we know there's heavy-duty pleasures. You're too young to give up on that ultimate pleasure. What is this ultimate pleasure? Every human being knows life is gorgeous. Every one of us feels it. If you ask people, go and ask them, is life gorgeous? Is it beautiful? Is it? They'll all say, what's so gorgeous about it? I don't know, but it's gorgeous. Find out what's so gorgeous about it. There's so much pleasure to have. The Almighty is not a piker. If He's your Father, He wants you to go first class, but really first class. Enjoy yourself. Get an upgrade.
Life is amazing. Life is so beautiful. I was just thinking the other day that I was looking at a flower. I've never really looked at a flower before. And I was over in a flower bed, and there was all these different flowers. And every flower looked different. Every flower felt different. Every flower was another color. And I thought it was so amazing that they smelled so nice. And I was like, it was really amazing to me.
Life is beautiful because there are so many beautiful things in life, whether it be something that's natural, something that we can see, I mean, you can experience all of these beauties through all of your senses.
You step back and you reflect, everything about it is beautiful. Everything, the way everything works together and everything.
Life is beautiful because I'm healthy and I'm happy and I have an amazing family and friends and I'm taken care of.
Life is beautiful because we're all here in it together, and it's going to have a great, great ending.
Words can certainly hurt people. In fact, words can hurt people more than physical abuse.
Words can hurt. Who hasn't seen that words can hurt?
I think it depends on the types of words people use. Some could be funny, some could be mean. Depends on your, how the person receives it.
I can actually tell you not a lot gets to me by words.
Words can definitely hurt people.
Is it true that sticks and stones will break my bones and names will never harm me? It's a way kids used to to brush off somebody who was insulting them. But it's not true. It never hurt anybody. Never say a bad word, even if it's not in front of them. In Judaism we say that's Lashon Hara, that's a counter, it's against it's a transgression of one of the, it's like eating pig, it's worse than eating pig. And that's because it makes you a low life. You're feeding on on the wounds of others, on the basis of others. It brings your values of life down. It makes you despise human beings because you're looking at their low. You should see every human being as precious. But more important, if you hurt someone, it's just like hitting them in the head. It's hurting people is much worse in words than physically, because in words it can destroy your life. Physically, it'll get better. But a bad word can harm a kid forever. A bad word can make somebody doubt himself for the rest of his life.
I know this girl that's, she's 17 today, and her whole life, she was an adopted child. Her whole life, her parents told her that she's gonna fail, and she really failed, and today she's in the streets.
Once an ex-boyfriend that I went out with for a long time told me that he never really liked me, and that kind of crushed me.
Some kids in my 5th grade class called me different names, and it hurt.
I used to have a friend who was a little bit overweight, and people would always make fun of her and tell her how fat she was, and she stopped eating and she got really, really sick. And eventually, like, she just got to a point that she was very unhealthy, and later on in her life she tried to have children and she wasn't able to.
Once a friend hurt me. They wanted me to be someone that I wasn't. They told me that I should be like them. And they didn't appreciate me for who I was.
I was really fat that people used to call me names such as Blobby and Yokozuna, who was a sumo wrestler, and things like that. I became insecure.
But I had a chemistry teacher who told me that I'd never be able to make it as a doctor when I asked him. And so I ended up a teacher. I'm a very happy teacher, actually. I love working with students. But that really hurt me. He failed me, actually.
I think that people search for who they are their whole entire lives, and you get frustrated, but you never really find out. You just keep on growing in different ways.
You're asking someone who's still looking himself.
A person can find his true place in this world by discovering an activity which he is fantastic at and he gets enjoyment at. And by continually doing that and making a name for himself with that activity, he's reaching a potential which he has fulfilled to the maximum.
One has to look deep, deep inside himself.
They have to see what they enjoy doing, who they enjoy being around, what brings out their goodness.
Follow your instincts, follow your interests, follow your talents.
Limit your distractions and you just know what you're looking for, sort of.
So every day when we wake up and before we go out the door, we have to say to ourselves, I'm ready for whatever comes my way, and whatever comes my way are my opportunities, and I'm going to go with those.
Yeah, you got to find your place, you know. You got to know, don't be a stone wall and don't be a soccer ball. don't stand around having people kick you around, and don't stonewall people. You know, what should you do? You got to learn to be a ping pong ball until you're independent. You're independent, which means that somebody tells you something and it makes sense. Okay, get somebody who's on the other side and say, look, this is what Yankel says. What do you say? Does it make sense? And he says, nah, you don't even know what you're talking about. And he convinces you. So you go back to Yankel and say, hey, Yankel, what's the matter with you? And this is, Yankel wipes the floor with you. You go back. Comes a time when all of a sudden you say, hey, Yankel, what the heck are you talking about? You're just dodging the issue. Now you've become independent. So everybody's got to know his place. You got to know when it's your place to teach because you know what the game is about. And you got to know when it's your place to keep quiet and learn. You got to know when it's a place to discuss. You've got to estimate, and the only way you can estimate is first be a ping pong ball. But once you're a good ping pong ball and you got the name of the game, then you don't have to stonewall. Nobody's going to convince me of anything. And on the other hand, you're not a soccer ball that everybody kicks around.
In 2 to 3 sentences, becoming a good person, let's see.
Do good deeds, you know, do what's moral and just.
I think that someone who really wants to become a good person can. How? I think look to other good people, people who are nice and moral and follow their example. Maybe even ask them what they do, how they behave.
And working on yourself to be a good person, bringing out the goodness in yourself, seeing the good in others.
By giving rather than taking.
I guess to just be very sensitive and very aware of other people's feelings and what they need.
Always do what you think is right and take advice from people who know.
Just do a lot of good things.
So it's like any trait or any hobby or anything. You're not just, people just don't wake up and they're martial artists in a black belt. They acquire these skills. So I think to become a good person, you must acquire and look for and research what it takes and what a good person is.
We all know that it's good to care for others. You visit the sick in the hospital. You don't like it, but if you do it and you know that you help some people, if you feel good about it. You feel good about it, it'll encourage you to do some more. We all know that we want to do the right thing. Do the right thing is what? Is take care of your friends. They're depressed. Listen to them. You don't feel like it. You see them depressed. You say, "I'll see you tomorrow." No. Sit down. What's happening? What's wrong? You don't feel like doing it, but you want to be a good man. You see, the most important time to remember that you want to be good is when you feel like doing something which ain't so good. But if you remember and you keep pushing that button, I've got to do what is right, and you remember to appreciate after you did how you feel, so slowly you'll enjoy being good and you'll seek the opportunities. And boy, there's a lot of opportunities.
Someone that's looking for a mentor should look for someone that they can connect with.
And someone who will inspire you to be a better person, to grow, and to ask questions.
Actually, you ought to be able to find your mentor in your own household.
My mentor and advisor has always been my older brother, Josh. He's somebody that always looks out for me and tries to steer me in the right direction.
My mother and my father and my sisters.
I have many. The main one is my mother.
I have a friend whom I ask advice from nowadays.
Look for a person who's more of a listener than a talker, but when he talks, he's very passionate and he's serious in what he says, and he means everything he says.
Everybody should have a teacher. That's the Jewish concept. Everybody should get a wise man and learn from him. People don't even know that there are wise men around. You have discussions, you have fights, you have talks, but where's the wise man? So first you're going to have a measuring stick. What do you call wise? If somebody has a definition of love and he can teach you how to enjoy your children more and enjoy your wife and have harmony, is that wisdom? Is that an art of living? What is wisdom? Wisdom is how to live. Everything until you have a roof over your head and you have food on your table and you have a comfortable bed, that's plumbing. That's just the necessities of life. But now that everything, you got everything, what's life about? That's wisdom. To enjoy your wife and children, man, if you don't do that, you're not living. So you find someone who understands how to be happy and how to have awe and how to use it and how to be pure and what pleasures there are in this world, then stick to him, learn from him. Serve the wise man, because when you serve the wise man, serving means that's what you respect. Everyone will serve his premier or president. You know, the guy who walks in, say, "Can I get you something? You need a drink? You want to use the phone?" We feel he's an important man. I want to be part of him. Everybody serves the stars that he admires, like Michael Jordan or somebody that's, "Can I get you a drink? Is there something? Can I have your autograph?" If I give him a drink, you should get his autograph. Everybody who will serve a billionaire. If a billionaire wanders into your home and you know who it is, you say, "Oh, please sit down. Can I get you a piece of cake? Hello, you're very up there, right?" In Judaism, we say, serve the wise man. That's the one that you appreciate because he can change your life. If the billionaire gives you money, okay, you think that life, you can do anything you want. Not yet. Yeah? If you get the autograph, it's not yet. You can't do everything you want because you got an autograph. If the president visited you, so, okay, you can show the picture. Look at me with the president, big deal, yeah? But if you understand your powers, you understand how to use it, you understand how to enjoy life, you understand the pleasures that are available, you understand how to enjoy your children, that's for life. That's a different living.
I think it's important when you pick an advisor or mentor is to look for somebody with qualities that you want to have and somebody that you want to strive to be like.
A few years back, I found my mentor, who's my professor at university, and she just speaks the same language as me. She just knows how to talk to me, and she really gives me the answers that I'm looking for. I don't feel afraid to ask for anything.
One finds a mentor when they truly define what it is that they themselves are interested in, what they want to do, what person they want to be.
Not only do you need to learn good from people, but if I'm viewing someone doing something wrong, they're my mentor and they don't even know they're being my mentor. They might even not know that I spotted that, and I'm not going to do what they're doing because I see what they're doing and it's not right.
See, every one of us has a time when somebody teaches you something which is important. It's your father, your mom, a friend, a brother, a teacher. They teach you something that strikes a chord and you know you've learned something. Like you've learned what free will is. You can't ignore it. Free will is an important thing. The important thing is that when you learn something important, take note of it, appreciate it, be thankful for it, and then it's natural you'll go back to ask for more. Because if somebody's got one diamond, he might have another. And who knows, he might have a whole stash of them. And you want to get as many as you can.
One of the most important things my friend taught me was to appreciate other people.
My brother, who's my advisor, taught me to go after my dreams and give things a try.
My mentors taught me that if I do something, I'm accountable for it.
So, finding a mentor is taking note about who told you something which was very valuable and appreciating it, thanking him, and remembering this is a source of insights. And go mine it. Ask your questions. If he's got one answer, he might have more. Ask him all your questions. And in as much as he's giving you good answers that you know, you recognize, you check it out, it makes sense, and it helps you in life, then stick to him for the rest of your life. You've got a gold mine.
I think the most important thing my mentor taught me was if you take a step back, you can still get up and take a step forward. That doesn't mean that you have to fall all the way.
If you have any questions or any comments, anything at all, we're interested. Please call.